Hello dear students, welcome to my next lecture on contemporary studies in language. Before I start my lecture, I must congratulate Shraddha Jadhav for getting a job as a senior officer in ICICI Bank. In these difficult times when people are losing jobs, it is really praiseworthy that one of the students in our class has got a job. I hope that all of you will succeed like Shraddha in future. All of you will get good jobs and will get financial stability in life, which is, I believe, the key to happiness. Shraddha texted me in the afternoon and told that she got the job, and I was very happy to read the news, and I really wanted to share it with all of you. Shraddha's success story gives hope to all of us. So, congratulations Shraddha once again. And now I start my lecture. In my previous lecture, I spoke about semantics. I told you that semantics is a branch of linguistics which deals with meaning. How meaning is generated and how different types of meanings are created by words or sentences is studied in semantics. In today's lecture, we are going to study 7 types of meaning. So this is lecture number 8, and the topic for today's lecture is 7 types of meaning. Now, what is meaning first of all? Let me talk about meaning for a while. I spoke about meaning in my last lecture, but today I shall elaborate on it. So meaning in a general sense takes care of almost everything that transpires between the encoder or sender and the decoder, receiver of a message through a code, that is medium, which is language. So here at present, for example, I am an encoder. I am sending you messages and you are a decoder. That is, you are receivers of the message. And you understand my message because both of us follow the same code, that is, the same language. If I use a code which you don't understand, then communication will fail because the message will not be conveyed. Suppose I speak a few sentences in German, you may not understand those sentences. Thus, there should be a common medium between an encoder and a decoder, between senders and receivers. Then and then only communication will be possible. So, the first important thing for communication is we should follow the same code, that is the same language. But then how meaning is created by language? How do we understand a word or a sentence? How do we make meaning? Now, I said in my previous lectures that language is a sign. Language is a sign. Man developed languages in his evolution. Earlier, when man was primitive, he communicated among themselves by drawing pictures. So the first communication was with the help of gestures, facial expressions, and then slowly man started using sounds. So the first communication was with the help of sounds. It was an oral communication, and then man slowly started writing. First of all, he used pictorial messages to convey messages. He drew pictures. But then slowly he became advanced and he started using alphabets. He combined alphabets into words and then words into sentences. So language is a sign like pictures. So there are alphabets in every language. There are sounds in every language. Using the signs, we create words or sentences. These words or sentences are understood by all. But the relationship between the sign and the word, the sign or word and its meaning is arbitrary. That is, there is no logic why an object or thing is called by a certain word. For example, the word tree and the real object, not the picture on the screen, but the real object it refers to, has no one-to-one correspondence between the sign and the signifier. So this is sign, tree is the sign, and the real object is signifier. And the relationship between sign and signifier is arbitrary, that is illogical. There is no logic why a certain object is called by its name. झाडाला झाडच का म्हणायचं, तर त्याला असं काही लॉजिक नाही. झाडाला झाडच म्हणायचं कारण अनादी कालापासून, अनेक वर्षांपासून, अनेक पिढ्यांपासून लोक त्याला झाड किंवा ट्री म्हणतात, अँड देअरफॉर वी हॅव टू फॉलो द कन्व्हेन्शन. तर प्रत्येक भाषेमध्ये अल्फाबेट्स असतात, साऊंड्स असतात. ते जॉईन करण्याची एक विशिष्ट पद्धत असते. यू कॅनॉट रँडमली जॉईन or you cannot randomly take alphabets to create a word. So words are fixed and their meanings are fixed. When I say tree, you understand what I am talking about. So both of us share the same code, and therefore meaning or therefore communication becomes possible. Now Geoffrey Leach breaks down meaning into 7 types. So 7 types of meaning is a topic, or the concept is from Geoffrey Leach. He divides meanings into 7 types. First is conceptual meaning. It is also called as denotative meaning. Denotative meaning, or it is also called as literal meaning. Denotative meaning or literal meaning. In Marathi we call it as Shabdashaha Artha. So conceptual meaning. Then you have connotative meaning, stylistic meaning, affective meaning, reflective meaning, collective meaning, and thematic meaning. In this lecture we are going to study these 7 types of meanings. Now let us study the first 2 meanings described by Geoffrey Leach: conceptual meaning and connotative meaning. Now conceptual meaning or denotative meaning or denotation deals with the core meaning of expressions. It refers to the relationship between the 3 worlds of experience: idea, label, and item. So conceptual meaning deals with 3 worlds of experience. Every word expresses 3 things: idea, label, and item. Suppose I want to talk about a certain thing. मला एका वस्तूबद्दल बोलायचं आहे. Now I should know the name for that thing, and I should also know that all of you know the thing, or all of you know the label of the thing. बरोबर. Suppose मला याबद्दल बोलायचं आहे. Now I should know that you know this object, or even if you don't know this object, I should be able to explain you this object with the help of a label. So I would say that this is a bucket. Now I should be able to explain you the idea of bucket. So you see there are 3 things: idea, label, and item. So there is an idea. For that idea we create a label, and then there is the actual item, or then there is the real real item which is present in the real world. right? So conceptual meaning deals with three things: idea, label, and item. It is the denotative meaning, it is the dictionary meaning or literal meaning. For example, cow is an adult female bovine animal. When I say cow, a certain image comes to your mind. And the conceptual meaning of cow is an adult female bovine animal. बोवाईन या प्रकारचा हा एक ॲनिमल आहे, ॲडल्ट आहे, फिमेल आहे. काफ म्हटलं तर सपोज इफ आय से काफ वासरू, तर याच्यामध्ये काय बदल होईल? ॲडल्ट नसेल ते, बरोबर. काफ इज ऑल्सो बोवाईन ॲनिमल बट इट इज नॉट ॲन ॲडल्ट ॲनिमल. सो दिस इज हाऊ meaning changes. As soon as you read or hear this word cow, you understand or an image comes to your mind. So the idea is explained with the help of label which has reference to the animal in the real world. So cow म्हटल्या cow हे एक लेबल आहे, either written किंवा oral. सपोज मी काऊ काऊ असं म्हणालो तर हे स्पोकन कम्युनिकेशन झालं. दिस इज रिटन कम्युनिकेशन बट दिस इज अ लेबल टू रेफर टू ॲन ॲनिमल इन द रिअल वर्ल्ड. नाव दिस ॲनिमल इज ॲडल्ट फिमेल बोव्हाईन ॲनिमल. सो काऊ इज ॲन आयडिया. आता काऊला काऊच का म्हणायचं असं कोणी विचारू शकत नाही, किंवा तसं विचारलं तर लॉजिकल आन्सर देता येत नाही. ह्युमन बिईंग्सनी ठरवलं की बाबा दिस ॲनिमल is called as COW, cow, and now it is fixed. You cannot change the name, you cannot give new name to it. So all of us understand conceptual meaning of words. The basic meaning is conceptual meaning. The primary meaning of words and sentences is conceptual meaning. तर हे पहिलं conceptual meaning असतं. Then comes connotative meaning. It is also called as hidden or implied meaning. Meaning given by readers or listeners to the word. त्याला म्हणायचं connotative meaning. Explanation बघा. Connotative meaning is the meaning which is attributed to a given expression by its users. Attributed means given. So meaning given, special meaning given to a word by its users. Thus it is not part of what is conceived but it is part of what is perceived. So the literal meaning, the conceptual meaning could be different, but the connotative meaning sometimes is altogether different from conceptual meaning. काय कन्सीव्ह केलंय म्हणजे काय म्हटलंय याच्यापेक्षा त्याचा काय अर्थ घेतला गेलेला आहे हे कॉनोटेटिव्ह मिनिंग असतं. एक्झाम्पल बघू आपण. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, द फॅक्ट दॅट काऊ इज अ सॅक्रेड ॲनिमल इज पार्ट ऑफ कॉनोटेटिव्ह मिनिंग. तर काऊ, गाय म्हटलं की एक सॅक्रेड ॲनिमल आहे. गाईला हिंदू संस्कृतीमध्ये, धर्मामध्ये माता मानलं गेलेलं आहे. हे कॉन्सेप्च्युअल आहे, सॉरी हे कॉनोटेटिव्ह मिनिंग आहे. Meaning given to the animal by certain group, not by all the people in the world. If you say cow to Westerners, they will understand that it is just an adult female bovine animal. But for Indians or for Hindus, cow has a special meaning. This is called as connotative meaning, implied meaning, a special meaning given to certain thing by its users, right? In the last lecture I also spoke about it. Home, for example, the connotative meaning of home is a cozy place where you find love, warmth, etc. But home has a different meaning. I mean, home as a concept means a place where you live in. So home has a conceptual meaning as well as connotative meaning. The connotative meaning is sometimes, or it's most of the time, it is different from the literal meaning of the word. So in literature especially, you find कॉनोटेटिव्ह मीनिंग्स ऑफ वर्ड्स. लिटरेचरमध्ये स्पेशली वाक्यांना, शब्दांना कॉनोटेटिव्ह अर्थ असतो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, sunrise. Sunrise, it's just a natural day-to-day activity. But sunrise has a special meaning in literature. It means, when it means life, it means certain positive things will happen to you. And sunset has a different meaning. If someone is going to die, then we refer to the सनसेट ऑफ हिज लाईफ. त्याच्या जीवनाचा सूर्यास्त होत आहे असं ज्यावेळी आपण म्हणतो त्यावेळी आपल्याला काय म्हणायचं असतं की ही इज गोइंग टू डाय ऑर हिज लाईफ इज गोइंग टू एंड व्हेरी सून. सो वर्ड्स, expressions, certain expressions, phrases and sentences have sometimes connotative meaning. That is a special meaning given to the words or to the sentences by its users. So these are the first two important meanings described by Geoffrey Leach. Then comes stylistic meaning. So it is the meaning conveyed by an expression regarding the socio-cultural backdrop of the users of the language. It is the sum total of the social circumstances in which a piece of language is used. फॉर एक्झाम्पल बघा की स्टायलिस्टिक मिनिंग थोडक्यात डायलेक्टिकल मिनिंग असतं की मिनिंग कन्व्हेड बाय सर्टन सोशॉलॉजिकल बॅकड्रॉप और मिनिंग गिवन बाय सर्टन ग्रुप इन द कम्युनिटी. इट इज द सम टोटल ऑफ सोशल सर्कमस्टान्सेस. एखाद्या विशिष्ट समूहाने, एखाद्या विशिष्ट ग्रुपने एखाद्या शब्दाला किंवा एखाद्या वाक्याला दिलेला एक वेगळा अर्थ, त्याला काय म्हणायचं, स्टायलिस्टिक मिनिंग. सो फॉर एक्झाम्पल बारडी किंवा बाल्टी हे जे आपण शब्द बघितले ते स्टायलिस्टिक मिनिंग आहे की विशिष्ट भागातले लोक विशिष्ट वस्तूंना विशिष्ट नाव वापरतात. फॉर एक्झाम्पल स्क्रीनवर पहा, द वर्ड बक इज यूज्ड फॉर डॉलर और रुपी. इट इज द स्टायलिस्टिक मिनिंग ऑफ वर्ड. सो सम अनएज्युकेटेड पीपल और सम lower class people in England, America, especially in America, call buck for dollar. Now dollar is the name of the currency, but they don't say dollar, they use the word buck. Now who says buck? Only people from certain social class use this word category. So this is called as stylistic meaning. Meaning attributed to words or certain words are spoken by certain groups or communities in the society. That meaning is called as stylistic meaning. Then affective meaning. Affective meaning comprises the personal feelings of the encoder, including his or her attitude to the decoder and to the topic of the discourse. Affective meaning is personal meaning. Personal experiences are sent to the decoder by the encoder. तर एखादा व्यक्ती आपले पर्सनल एक्सपिरियन्सेस ज्यावेळी सांगत असतो दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज अफेक्टिव्ह मिनिंग. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, इफ आय से द चीफ मिनिस्टर इज व्हेरी हार्श. नाव इज इट अ जनरल ट्रूथ or is it the truth? No, it is my experience and I am conveying my experience to you. So this is affective meaning. I have been affected by the chief minister and therefore maybe this is my opinion. Your opinion might be altogether different. You might say that the chief minister is a kind man. So affective meaning is personal meaning, experiences got by the man lead to express him or her in a certain way. Then reflected meaning. It is the effect of one meaning on another meaning on the same word. For example, the word simple has multiple meanings like natural, naive, easily deceived, etc. तर बघा एक्सप्लेनेशनमध्ये की रिफ्लेक्टेड मिनिंग म्हणजे काय? मीनिंग वन मीनिंग ऑन अनदर मीनिंग ऑफ द सेम वर्ड. एकाच वर्डचे मल्टिपल मीनिंग्स असतात. दॅट इज कॉल्ड ॲज रिफ्लेक्टेड मिनिंग. ॲट वन टाइम द वर्ड मीन्स one thing, and on another time it means another thing. For example, simple चा अर्थ काय आहे? इझी, नॅचरल, नाईव्ह, स्ट्रेट एटसेट्रा. सिम्पलचा मराठीत अर्थ आपण साधा. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, इफ आय से ही इज व्हेरी सिम्पल पर्सन, what do I mean? I mean that he is very simple, easy, straightforward, down to earth, etc. मला काय म्हणायचं आहे? तो खूप साधा गृहस्थ, साधी व्यक्ती आहे. पण मी जर असं म्हटलं की द सम इज व्हेरी सिम्पल, एखाद्या विद्यार्थी म्हणतो ना की गणित खूप सोपं आहे, इट वॉज व्हेरी इझी टू सॉल्व, द सम वॉज व्हेरी सिम्पल. देअर द मिनिंग ऑफ सिम्पल इज डिफरंट. मिनिंगचा अर्थ तिथं सिम्पलचा अर्थ साधा असा होत नाही, तर सिम्पलचा अर्थ इझी असा होतो. तर वर्ड्स ॲक्वायर डिफरंट मिनिंग्स इन डिफरंट कॉन्टेक्स्ट्स. वेगवेगळ्या कॉन्टेक्स्टमध्ये, वेगवेगळ्या ठिकाणी त्या शब्दांना वेगवेगळा अर्थ प्राप्त होतो. जसं की इथं सांगितलं आहे की मी सिम्पलचे हे वेगवेगळे अर्थ आहेत. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, अनदर sentence, in a sentence like his responses are simple and straight, the encoder may be using simple to mean natural, but the other meaning, that is naive, may be reflected on the intended meaning. हा शब्द पहा, naive वेगळ्या पद्धतीने लिहिला आहे बघा. फ्रेंच वर्ड आहे ॲक्च्युली तो. आय वर 2 डॉट्स दिसतील तुम्हाला. त्याचा उच्चार आई, नाईव्ह याचा उच्चार आई करायचा आहे. नाईव्ह म्हणजे अतिशय भोळसट, साधा, सिम्पल एटसेट्रा. सो बघा, रिस्पॉन्स रेड कलरमध्ये लिहिलेला. हिज रिस्पॉन्सेस आर सिम्पल अँड स्ट्रेट. दॅट इज, आय वॉन्ट टू से दॅट ही वॉज व्हेरी नाईव्ह इन हिज रिस्पॉन्सेस. त्याचे रिस्पॉन्सेस कसे होते? अतिशय साधे, सरळ, भोळसट व्यक्तीसारखे होते, असं मला म्हणायचं आहे. सो हिअर सिम्पल refers to his naivety, his straightforwardness, his simplicity, etc. So naive may be reflected on the intended meaning. So simple here may mean naive. तर अशा तऱ्हेने words acquire different meanings in different contexts. Collective meaning बघू आता. It consists of the meaning acquired by a word under the influence of word or words which it co-occurs. म्हणजे बघा, when words go with certain other words, they acquire different meaning. That is the meaning of this explanation on the slide. So certain words acquire different meaning when they go with other words. If you take these words in isolation, they mean different, but when they go with other words, they acquire an altogether different meaning. जसं की बघा, strong coffee and strong argument. In both these expressions, strong mean different. जसं की strong coffee. स्ट्रॉंग कॉफीचा अर्थ काय? कडक कॉफी. कडक कॉफी म्हणजे कसली कॉफी? स्ट्रॉंग टू टेस्ट. पण स्ट्रॉंग आर्ग्युमेंट म्हणजे काय? कडक आर्ग्युमेंट का? नाही. स्ट्रॉंग आर्ग्युमेंट मीन्स व्हेरी हिटेड आर्ग्युमेंट. अतिशय तावातावाने केलेला आर्ग्युमेंट, चिडून रागाने केलेला आर्ग्युमेंट. तसंच आपण एखाद्या व्यक्तीबद्दल बोलतानाही म्हणतो बघा, ही इज व्हेरी स्ट्रिक्ट अँड स्ट्रॉंग. एखाद्या व्यक्तीबद्दल म्हणतो आपण ही इज व्हेरी स्ट्रॉंग, दॅट मीन्स ही इज व्हेरी पॉवरफुल, असंही त्याचा स्ट्रॉंगचा अर्थ होतो. तर इथं स्ट्रॉंगचा अर्थ कडक आहे आणि इथं स्ट्रॉंगचा अर्थ हिटेड आर्ग्युमेंट आहे किंवा हिटेड आहे, किंवा स्ट्रॉंग पर्सनमध्ये स्ट्रॉंगचा अर्थ पॉवरफुल आहे. इट इज बिकॉज स्ट्रॉंग गोज विथ कॉफी किंवा स्ट्रॉंग इज यूज्ड विथ आर्ग्युमेंट. सो If such words go with certain other words, they acquire altogether different meaning. When strong is used with coffee, it means one thing. When it is used with argument, it means another. So this is called as collocative meaning. This is called as collocation. यालाच म्हणायचं collocation. की काही वर्ड्सची गट्टी असते, म्हणजे काही वर्ड्स त्या वर्ड्स बरोबरच वापरावे लागतात. स्ट्रॉंग कॉफीच म्हणावं लागतं. पॉवरफुल कॉफी म्हणता येत नाही. स्ट्रॉंग कॉफी इज द करेक्ट एक्सप्रेशन. देन थेमॅटिक मीनिंग बघू आपण. Thematic meaning is the meaning conveyed by the structure of the discourse where concepts like topic and discourse are identified. Topic or theme is what or who we talk about. Focus is the new information we give to the learner. I shall give you an example and then explain thematic meaning. For example, here baga, the dog died. Now, in thematic meaning, something happens to the doer, something happens to the subject of the sentence. So what happens, what does the subject do, or what happens to the subject is important in this sentence. So this sentence shows some kind of action, or this sentence shows something happens to the subject of the sentence, or something happens to the doer of the sentence. So the dog is the topic, or it is the theme of the sentence, and died is the focus of the sentence. So the dog is dead. So the dog is the topic, and what happens to the dog is given here. So this is called as thematic meaning. In thematic meaning, you have to understand the subject, the doer of the sentence, and then you have to find out, or you have to understand what happens to the subject. So basically in stories we find that a story deals with a subject, a man or a woman or a group of people, and then the story narrates what happens to the man, or the woman, or the group. So thematic meaning is the meaning where there is a topic, there is a doer, there is someone who does the action, and something happens to it, or he or she does something. So this is called as thematic meaning. So in today's lecture, I explained you in brief 7 types of meaning. 7 types of meanings were proposed by a linguist called Geoffrey Leach. And according to Geoffrey Leach, these are the 7 types of meanings. I hope you have understood the topic. Very easy to understand. But remember these 7 types very well, and try to remember the examples of the meanings. You can also find your own examples for these 7 types of meanings. In examination, I shall give you examples, and then I will ask you to find out the type of meaning it refers to. So I stopped here today. I shall soon send my lecture on the Google Classroom. Thank you very much.